I'd like to call the Downtown Development Authority Board meeting Monday, July 13th, 2026 at 12 p.m. Is it 12 p.m.? Yes, right on the nose, 12 p.m. to order.
May I do the board call?
I'm sorry? Yes, roll call, please.
Alan Costello,
Here.
Jason Leckow,
Here.
Jim Knight,
Here.
Brian Rosen,
Here.
Bob Cantle.
Here. And if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, that brings us to the agenda approval. Are there any changes, additions, deletions, or anything else?
No.
And do I need a motion to approve? Can I have a motion to approve, please?
Second.
Motion to approve.
And seconded by the first, by Jason. Thank you.
Was very eager. Second.
That's good.
Public comments and partner reports? Actually, no, before we got to that, we wanted to let the two new board members. What? Oh, okay, motion second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Is this, Laura, where you wanted to?
Sure, that would be great. Just introduce our new board members, and our returning board members are Brian Rosen and Cole Devitt. And Cole Devitt's out of the.
Lori, I don't hear your microphone.
Oh, you're not? No.
Sorry.
Am I on? Okay.
Now you are.
Sorry. So today we start our new terms for returning board members and new terms for new board members. And we have Brian Rosen and Cole Devitt, who are returning to the DDA board for a second term of 3 years. Thank you. And thank you for your service. And then we want to welcome Bob Cantwell and Jason Leckow for their first term for 3 years as new DDA board members. So welcome, and if you want to share a little bit about yourselves, that would be great.
Would you like to go first, please?
Yeah, we want to say something about ourselves.
Absolutely.
And why you're here and
Well,
excited to be part of the team.
I am very excited. I've been a volunteer for a long time, big fan forever. And, I'm just very excited to be here to contribute in any way I can. I've got a long history, a way too long history in business and finance. And hopefully I'll be able to contribute in a positive manner.
Great.
Big
Thank you.
fan of the Cornell and all of the aspects of the DDA. And hopefully you won't make me quit volunteering.
Well, thank you. And your position actually is an at-large position, so but representing residents at large. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jason, you want to share a little bit?
Hi. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Jason Leckow, and I am relatively new as a business owner in downtown Delray. We opened my restaurant about 7 months ago now, and it's been extremely well received with the city. So we're excited to continue. I'm excited to continue developing my relationship with the city of Delray and contributing to the community as much as I can. So thank you.
And the name of your restaurant to plug. People are watching.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I'm supposed
Well,
to do that.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I would love to
for
have
sure.
you plug it, so I know to come too.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the restaurant's name is Tropical Smokehouse, and we're at 524 West Atlantic Avenue. It's the red and white building. You can't miss it.
Yeah. A new business that opened in West Atlantic Avenue, which is
Yes.
great.
Phenomenal.
Something, we want to get your perspective on things. So
Awesome.
appreciate
Awesome.
having you here.
Thank you so much.
Great.
All right, so that brings us to the public comments and partners reports, limited to 3 minutes, right?
Yes, yes, sir. I think we have a couple. Well, at least we have our clean and safe sergeant.
Man with a gun.
He can go first.
Jim Schmidt, supervisor downtown. Overall, we're down across the board, which is to be expected. I did want to touch on a couple proactive things and issues that have come up. Primarily juvenile complaints. We had a couple incidents where they did the juvenile takeover. It's a national thing. We were quick to respond aggressively, took a zero tolerance approach to it, and was able to dismantle the juveniles relatively quickly. The other thing is the bikes downtown, the reckless bicycles, the wheelies. We've taken a proactive approach on that as well. They'll be stopped. The parents will be called. So we've had a pretty positive response on that with contacting the parents and getting them involved and so forth. The other thing is the e-bikes. New legislation came out. It's 750 watts. Anything over that needs to be registered and to be treated just as a motor scooter. So that's been effective. The underage drinking, Libby Wesley Park, FD Station 1. So those are the proactive initiatives that we've been taking. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, Sergeant, on the scooter, do they have to be a certain age to ride a scooter?
It's 16. There's regulations 16 below with helmets and stuff like that, but no.
So,
It's 750 watts. Otherwise, it's treated as a bicycle.
yeah, but who's gonna, well, so
Yeah.
the thing is I don't know how to tell whether it's 750 or 1,000, so,
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's labeled, it's marked on the bike. It's anything over 20 miles per hour would be
Yeah.
considered over 750 watts.
then the bottom line is, though, if a kid's 16, he doesn't need a permit or a license or anything.
If it's over 750 watts, it'd be considered like a moped, so you need to have it registered and a license.
The driver, too?
Yes,
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thanks.
absolutely.
I had a quick question on, because I was reading the Coastal Star, and I think that's the June 6th beach
Okay.
takeover you were talking about, right?
Sure.
And apparently it's, there was a July 4th, I think there might have been something that some kids were running through. Again, I was not there at the event. For that, I apologize, but apparently there were some kids that were throwing fireworks I heard rumors of and went into some of the stores and so forth. And it would be great to have an opportunity, maybe yourself and/or Major Gary, to come back at next month's meeting and kind of tell us how we can help you. It sounds like these kids are pretty brazen, because I saw some of the stuff in the social media, the takeover at the Wellington Mall, which was diffused, the one that you guys did up here, also up in West Palm or Singer Island, the takeover, so forth. So any way that we can help you guys and keep our eyes and ears out there. I did talk to a couple of the restaurateurs where the kids come in, and usually it's after hours, no, not after hours, but at night when I'm sleeping in bed.
Do your
Sure.
But 11 o'clock on, stuff like that, where they've come into Sazio's Express and some of the other places, and they just grab stuff and walk out, so forth. Not as brazen as what they're doing in California with $1,000, and they don't stop you and so forth, but hopefully we can find a way to communicate better ourselves, the restaurants and so forth, to be able to get word out to you guys if it's starting to get a little bit out of control. And
Yeah, no, absolutely. We appreciate all communication, with all the businesses and so forth. We're pretty active in identifying them and checking the social media and seeing these things when they do come up and when they are advertised. And like again, our approach is just to take a zero tolerance approach. And we start arresting kids, start calling parents. The word seems to get out, so hopefully we can extinguish it before it actually starts into something more. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a national trend, and
yeah, that's just, I'm shocked.
Not good.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was concerned about a whoop ass at home, not from the police. I was with my dad, if I had done something like this, just,
It's not the call you want.
no. Thank you so much for the update. And by the way, when you started off saying we're down in crime and so forth, because
we're down
yeah.
in arrest. We made 6 arrests last month, which is we usually make around 15 to 12. Our reports of crime, but it is kind of on our season. The thing that it was up was the juvenile complaint. So
It's hot. Everyone's staying inside.
Yeah.
Anyways, appreciate everything always.
Yes,
and,
always.
and if there's ever anything, again, Laura, our team, our board, anything we can do to help you guys, always please let us know.
appreciate it. Yeah, you guys have been great.
Great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Okay, do we have anybody else here? Going once, going twice, 3 times, and that's it for the partner reports. No public comment? Anybody back there? Am I that boring that nobody wants to come up here and yell at me or anything? Or you're welcome to, please. Okay, so that brings us to the agenda, which we approve, correct? And the consent agenda for approval.
Yep, just need an approval for the consent items, which
Can I
are
have
the
a
minutes.
motion, please, for the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Al, and a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mom. And all in favor?
Aye.
And the unanimous, passes unanimously. Thank you. And that takes care of all the consent agenda items, is that
Yes.
correct?
Mhm.
Okay, fantastic. We're moving so quickly today, I might make my 2 o'clock appointment. Presentations, Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics. I've gotten to know the Commission on Ethics myself over the years.
Well, thank you for having me. Rhonda Geiger with the Commission on Ethics. I always like to say, although I've gotten a couple phone calls from you guys are already putting me to work, but that's how we would like it. We would much rather be the proactive agency than the reactive agency. So that is exactly why we're here, to answer telephone calls, to answer questions, to hopefully send you in the right direction. Happy to provide advisory opinions. I have at least one in the works for you guys, possibly 2, especially with the new board members and people being concerned about potential conflicts. So that's exactly what we want to avoid. I'm going to give the quick little rundown that I like to remind people of. There are a lot of times, especially in a situation that you have, where most of you are local business owners. So there's inherently going to be times where those 2 things will cross paths. And the analysis that I like to remind people of, obviously we're still here to answer questions, I'm not trying to get out of that. But the first thing you have to ask yourself is there a prohibited entity involved in whatever action you're considering taking or not taking? So a prohibited entity is yourself, a close family member, your outside business, a customer or client of your outside business, an agency that you might be a board member or a founding member of, something like that. That would be considered a prohibited entity. So if any of your actions will bring a special financial benefit, not just a financial benefit, but a special financial benefit, meaning one that is particularized to that group, then the action will likely be prohibited. But if you're engaging in an action, for example, you're voting, this is not something this council or this commission would vote on, but whether or not to install a street sign on your business's road, you may still very well be able to vote on that, because that street sign, even though it's an action, it probably doesn't have a financial benefit attached to it. So it's not always just the special entity, the prohibited entity, that's going to bring about a conflict. We have to have 3 things: prohibited entity, financial benefit, and the financial benefit has to be considered special, meaning that it benefits a class of 100 or less. All right? Easy? I'm still here. Feel free to give me a call. Jason, I'm waiting to hear back from you. You'll give me that. I sent you an advisory opinion. Did you see that?
I did see it. Thank
Okay,
you.
so take a look at that and tell me if you're comfortable with that. If not, I'm happy to write an opinion. I'm working on another one. But that is exactly what you should be doing, is calling us for those opinions. It puts everybody at ease. It puts everybody watching at ease. It just alleviates those questions in advance. And the other thing I like to remind people of is we get complaints, and the legal sufficiency of a complaint is a bare minimum. It is like, we're not looking at the facts. We have a legal standard by which a complaint is considered legally sufficient. Once that complaint gets filed, it may very well go nowhere. We may very well say there was no evidence this person did anything wrong, but the complaint has already been filed. So anytime you can address a potential conflict proactively, that is really the best way to go about it. Let's avoid that complaint. That way, if somebody sees something and they reach out to us, we can say, no, they've already asked for an opinion. Here's the opinion. We've told them that they can go forward with that action. So asking for an advisory opinion really protects you in the long run, and it puts the public at ease, which really is what we want. We want the people out here to believe that we as government servants, as employees, as board members, that we're not acting in our own best interest, that we're acting in interest for the entire community. And that's really what we want to do. Transparency.
And I can say firsthand, I've been the benefactor of a complaint filed against me before when I sat on the LDRAB board for Palm Beach County. And it was with regards to code change, and it's a 1-year process, so it's not like it happens quickly. So like today, I sent in a request. I'm the other request because I'm representing the property in downtown Delray where the DDA's office is. But anyway, so I'm not going to speak about that until after I get back the opinion from the county. But on the other issue, 2 people had filed a complaint against me, and what the change that I voted on with LDRAB, which was a code change, affected thousands of properties throughout Palm Beach County. And so that's why, but it's a 1-year process. I did not hire an attorney or anything else, so forth. But it's a nerve-wracking process to sit there and go through. So wholeheartedly endorse asking for the opinion. Don't
Agreed.
wait and come back and sit like I did for a year. I'm wondering what's going to happen. Am I going to be taken away? What's kind of good stuff could come of it? So, but much better.
And so in your situation, there may have been a financial benefit, but it wasn't special.
I didn't get any financial benefit.
So
it was a brother-in-law who had a landscaping company, and it affected his company and over 1,000 other properties. So yes,
but it was 1,000, so it wouldn't have been considered special. So that's the analysis we'll go through. But you're right. When I say that the legal sufficiency finding is a bare minimum, we are not looking into anything factual when we receive a complaint. We're essentially looking for personal jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction, and does the complaint allege facts that, if true, would be a violation. So it's a very, very low bar to get past the legal sufficiency of a complaint. So, but again, I always remind people, mostly they remember that the complaint got filed. They forget that it's a process and the investigation takes a while and we have to move through interviews. And then even if it does get dismissed, a lot of times people don't remember that part.
And of course they don't. and in my certain case, they said had I not voted on the issue, I would have been in trouble, which was interesting.
Excellent. That must make you feel
So
very
I
good
was
about
like-
your public service. Yes.
Anyhow, thank you very
You're
much for
welcome.
coming. Thank you for all the goodies and materials and wonderful things here. And
I'm going to say, as I always do, there is a value on that is so limited that you don't have to worry about a gift.
it's less than the $50 or whatever.
It's 100.
100.
It's 100, and yes, it's far less than that. In fact, I should pay you to take it. Are there any other questions I can answer? Anybody else I can?
Anybody on the board here?
No. I guess I better get back to work. I have an opinion to write.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
So much.
Awesome. All right, good.
Okay, DDA recognition. Laura Simon, please come on up.
I will. We're just gonna tag team this one.
Nice.
Because we both have the same idea. So, so for our new board members, this is something that we added to our monthly meetings to recognize the great work that DDA team is doing, as well as potentially at certain times we've recognized others in our city that do great work that go unnoticed sometimes. So we will bring that back next month. I have 2 that I'm working on, but for today, I'm just going to jump right in, and we're going to recognize, Mariska and I are recognizing Pam and Mavis today for for their amazing contributions to our organization, and they are both in that arts, both artists, and contributing to and jumping right into our organization in a lot of different ways. So especially during a time where the teams really needed it, we're down a person and a resource and probably a few, but jumping right in with not a question and just saying, we can handle it. We're here to help any way you need possible. So first thing was to jump in with art and jazz from an art perspective, working on our artists, vendors that are there, giving it a little more of a specialized touch. So huge help with that. And we have one coming up next week. So making that experience such better for our community. And then also with the current exhibition, they both curated, and I'm going to turn this over to Mariska to elaborate on, but to just jump in and say, we've got this, and to make great things happen is with a smile on their face and joy that they do so well. And we're just blessed to have, especially Mavis, who has been a board member for 6 years. She jumped in as a merchant, retailer for 20 years, jumped in on the board and really hasn't stopped. Always there when we need her, whether it's fending off people trying to sneak into the VIP area at a concert with her muscles, or welcoming people to Sounds of the Set and helping set up at 100-degree weather. So thank you very, very much for everything you do, and we so appreciate you. And Mariska, share more.
Yeah. I just want to talk about, we brought back Art on the Square this year, which is a fine arts show that I had run in prior years with Old School Square, and we brought that back. We had brand new people, brand new situations with the city, all different permits that had to be put together, all of that. And Mavis and Pam jumped right in to help me. In the past, I had been very much by myself in doing these, but they jumped in, talked to the artists, collected COIs, did all those things for Art on the Square, and then were with me through the entire process. So that was huge lift, and I thank them both so much. Both have amazing skills with people, so they're wonderful to talk to the artists. I'd much rather have the artists talk with them. They're amazing. For me, I'm always, 10 other things going on. They also created some art activations for First Friday Art Walk that we have in the museum. It's always a fun evening of art. We either have an opening, or one of the most recent things we're doing is creating art activations outside, and Pam has been working on that. She's a beautiful artist, and Mavis has been involved in that too, bringing artists to perform artwork in front of the museum. So it's not just inside, but it's happening outside too. We have music inside, so it's just a really fun evening for everybody. Pam has also created some workshops, kids workshops, that have gone over really well. Mavis is working on some artist talks that are happening with the new exhibition. Those two are coming up soon. And for Persistence of Matter, I don't know where to start with that exhibition because it was a huge lift. We put out a big call to artists. They created it. They went into the system, learned the system, figured out how to do all of that, put out this call to artists, fielded all of the phone calls, all the questions, all of that, and then went through and curated the whole exhibition. So we received almost 100 submissions, and we had to, curate that down. They had to really decide which piece was going to work. They'd never done it before, neither one of them. So it was amazing what they put together. You really have not seen the exhibition, please come and see it. It's incredible. So they did the call to artists, they curated it, they spoke with all the artists, updated everything with the artists, and now they're managing tours for the exhibition, which is incredible. So they're talking with everybody that comes through the door about what's happening in the museum. Really incredible. And in between, doing art and jazz, doing Mother's Day orchid giveaways. I don't know where to begin and where to end with this, but I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and for all that you mean to the museum and to the DDA. We thank you.
Flowers.
Come up.
Flowers.
It's on the other side. I just did this one. Thank you. Oh, that's beautiful. This one is for Mavis. They both say the same, but I'm going to read what it says. In recognition of your outstanding dedication, valuable contributions, and unwavering commitment to Downtown Development Authority, Cornell Art Museum, and Old School Square, your efforts have made a lasting impression, and your work is truly appreciated.
Yeah.
And we have flowers.
Thank you. And we have flowers for you as well.
nice little bag.
Yeah, because there's glass spaces, so.
You don't get away without coming up and saying a little something.
We'll let you go up.
Thank you.
No crying.
Big cry.
No, I know.
All the emotions of the
She's a
people right
major
here.
crybaby, and and maybe it takes two people to make one brain. I don't know.
Or to make one
Oh,
Maruska.
it takes more people to make one Maruska because it's been an exciting journey, and you know, I as I've said a million times, retirement didn't take for me. And I could not be any more happier in my life than where I am right now. And you know, one time I've got the DDA pin on, and the next time I've got the Cornell, and I have to look down to make sure. But I love my life. It's the best, and I love Maruska. You know, we did it, but she was right there guiding us and helping us. And the DDA, Laura, has been an influence on my life since she came to work for the DDA in more ways than just the DDA. She's become a really, really great friend, and I value that as Maruska more than words can express. So thank you. Did not expect this, but really value it. Thank you. Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Right.
Well, actually, Mavis said everything, but thank you so much. I mean, yeah, it's such a joy to work with these people, all of them, and so I really, really appreciate this. I've been in Delray. I'm a 46-year-old resident of Delray. So I've been here a long time, and just to see what the museum's been doing, like under Maruska, has just been fantastic, and I've gotten to know Laura and the DDA people more, and just, yeah, like you, I love it.
So with the tag team on the curating of the art, who got the pleasure of telling the people they didn't make it?
Yeah.
Oh, so you passed the buck to Maruska, huh? Because that's got to be tough. It's not easy, right? And of the 100 people that submitted, how many did you have to whittle it down to?
About 40, right?
Yeah, I think I know it's
Wow.
44, yeah.
Means a majority you had to say no to. That's
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That was
The
Marushka's,
exhibition is awesome.
and that was Marushka's fault too, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we do have our first lecture this coming Saturday, 7 o'clock. We've got the 3 guides that are going to be talking. Mike Silverman, Derek Jones, and
What time?
Eric Shue.
7.
5 o'clock.
Oh,
5 to 7.
that's 7.
5 to 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Picture? Oh, sure, yeah. I like, what is he doing? Want to get with the board, in front of the board?
Yes, it's in front of the.
In front of the dais.
Damn it, orchestra.
Oh, I have to get it. Nobody wants me in the picture. Yeah, right.
Come on in.
Hurry, Al. Hurry.
Running.
Help, I've fallen. I can't get up.
This is the fun part. We love it.
All right, moving on.
May I
you.
say something?
Yes, sir.
I just, we went to the First Friday Art Walk, and I had been several months ago, maybe even 6 months ago, and I was absolutely amazed at how much it had improved and what an incredible experience it was. It was something that we enjoyed immensely, and I just want to say thanks for all your hard work, because it was, I think anybody that has friends, relatives, business associates that have not been to the Friday Art Walk recently need to come again. It was one of the best experiences.
Thank you for being there.
I wouldn't miss it.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Okay, continuing on. That brings us, I believe, to old business.
Right. All right. So 5A, I just wanted to give everyone an update on the beautification task force. The application's live. We are receiving applications from residents mostly residents and some business owners. We've got a total of 12 applications so far. The deadline is, we extended it to the 16th, so this Thursday. So we'll do a push this week. We've sent it to each of you to also forward to individuals if you would like to share with either a business owner. It would be great to have a business owner or a property owner in the downtown. And I'll send out an update after this meeting of the actual list that we have so far. The goal is to hopefully have all of the applications, enough applications by Thursday, and in those right categories. And if not, we'll have to either do a new push or extend the deadline again. The board is appointing, so the DDA board, you will be appointing these members to this task force. So the applications, once we receive them all, we'll go through them, qualify them, and then provide you the packet for you to review well in advance of the August meeting. We had thought about doing a special meeting just for this, but I think with just giving you time to go through the applications, potentially speak to the individuals if you'd like to, and then just to get your, prepared for that nomination. I think that would be best just to leave it on the August 10th meeting. Unless you all feel differently.
Only comment I have is, most importantly, when they're going through and checking with the individuals, because I don't think there's a mandatory meetings or anything else, so forth, or attendance and so forth, is hopefully find people that are enthusiastic and really want to be involved and participate. And I would check, because I don't know what times or days, is it once a month you're going to meet or whatever, but whatever that is, get a forward commitment from whoever it is so we have a good attendance, because it is an important item and so forth. And I think it would be great to have, as many people attend all of the meetings.
Right.
And that way we'll get hopefully a good outcome and then find out how to pay for it.
Great. All right.
Jewel is the lead.
Yes,
from
she
the
and I
board.
have been meeting. She just texted me. She's not feeling well, so that's why she's not here. She had an allergic reaction in her eye. So she apologized. But yes, so she will be one that we would sit together as once we receive the applications to go through them and then provide them.
And she'll take the lead.
Yeah.
Because she is as passionate as could be, and I would love
is
her
taking the
recommendation.
lead.
Yeah, I would like her recommendation on the chart, the applications.
Okay, well, that'll be at our next public meeting, so our next month's meeting, we'll do that.
Cool.
We'll go through them in detail. So we'll save enough time on that agenda for that significantly
Okay.
for discussion, okay? And that's
Any
really
other questions, comments from any of the board members, or? That brings us to 5B, which is DDA Old School Square program updates for June and upcoming DDA team.
Awesome. I'm going to turn this over to Suzanne.
So we're doing something a little bit different today to kind of shorten this. So we don't have we're just going to do like the 3 big wins that we did for Old School Square and DDA, or like the big wins of the month. And then, of course, your report in your backup has all the details, all the numbers, everything that we've done. So just wanted to keep this more high level. Okay. But as you all know, I'm leaving the DDA, so they may make a decision to go back to the old format. But we're trying this for
Trying
today.
to bring tears out of us up here, aren't you?
No
That's
tears.
not very
No
nice.
tears.
Suzanne,
Yes.
if the whole board kind of got together, stood up, and asked you to stay, would that matter?
Yes, Al. You on bended knee, 100%.
You could have it. I mean,
Okay, so we are.
Yeah, she said yes.
We are in the
thought
midst
she
of our
said
summer. Changing subjects. We are in the midst of our summer campaign. The mobile passes have been launched. We have 2 that are the summer shopping pass. We had about 500, a little more than 500 people sign up, and just under 100 redemptions, meaning check-ins. That wasn't as successful as we had hoped it would be, but it was a check-in pass. It wasn't a savings pass. And what we're finding is when you're giving people savings, they're more likely to get involved, right? So the check check-in pass was that if you get so many check-ins, you win a chance to win like $500 in gift cards. But what people really want are the savings. And so this Downtown Wellness Pass, which is our pass that's going on right now, July and August, we've gotten already 664 signups, and we're just, not even a couple of weeks in, and we've had 49 redemptions. This is fitness studios, spas, salons that are offering free classes. I've got some fitness studios offering a week's worth of free classes. Iron Valor CrossFit, F45, both offering a week's worth. We've got spa discounts, salons. So it's a really cool pass, and we're seeing that people are really connecting with it. Next up is the Restaurant Month Pass, and that's obviously Downtown Delray Restaurant Month. That's going to be in September. We just met with our restaurants last week and are getting them signed up now for Restaurant Month, and also talking to them about Savor the Avenue. And I know that you all had heard from Schmidt regarding the teen takeovers and what you can do. We had that conversation at that meeting with them. They basically said, if you see a group of teens, gathering, please reach out to us, and so we can get ahead of that situation. So they are already aware. We also sent a follow-up email to all of our restaurants to let them know of these things that were happening. So we're in constant communication with our businesses to make sure they are aware of these things that are happening in downtown. Below is the paid digital that's through June. This is just paid advertising that we're doing, and this encapsulates also that World Cup marketing that we're doing to capture that World Cup audience. That 4.73 click-through rate is huge. It's a really good number. And then the summer click-through rate, also a really solid number. That usually, if you get about 2%, that's considered high. So we're doubling, almost tripling that in the World Cup. And 2.8 million impressions on our paid digital that's happening through the summer. This is one of the pieces that we're doing in addition to the Brightline videos that we're running, is digital advertising as well. Okay, the other things that happened in June, Sounds of the Set. These are both partnership events that happened on West Atlantic. First of all, Sounds of the Set is our partnership event that we're doing with the Set Coalition. It's a live music series. They have the Blackmore's Market vendors that are set up there in Libby Wesley Plaza and also along Southwest 5th Avenue. It's a very successful community event. It is run by the community and they love it, and we're going to continue this throughout the summer. We have another one coming up in August as well. And then if you all weren't at Run with the Chief, where were you? It was a great, great, great event. The Chief has been doing these Run with the Chiefs events for a while now, but I think it was Laura's idea to shut down Atlantic Avenue and do it down Atlantic Avenue. So we partnered with the PD and the city and helped them really market it and handled all the event registrations. We had, that 600 number is not right. It's 300 plus pre-registrants. So we had about 300 people register, and I feel like it was about 300 people that ran, right? Yep. Yeah. They closed down Atlantic Avenue. It was on Saturday morning, and we ran down from Libby Wesley Plaza, east to Pineapple Grove, down Pineapple Grove to 2nd, back around and back.
Jason was there.
Yeah, Jason was there.
Jason ran a mile and a half in 9 minutes and 50 seconds.
Ooh, Jason. Okay.
First time in 20 years that I've done that.
Suzanne walked, and had a killer time of 25 minutes.
I was 8:04. 8 minutes and 40 seconds.
8 minutes. Wow. Yeah, all you runners. Okay, the other thing that we've been working on the city with in really marketing this campaign is this Free Parking Wednesdays. I have to tell you, this has been a very, very successful offering by the city. I certainly hope that we can put pressure on them to continue this next summer and maybe even extend it into other days. People are talking about it. Our businesses love it. We heard from our restaurants that it's helping them. So, it does make a difference, even just one day. And not only that, but it's creating excitement, right? It creates excitement. It was our #1 story in our public relations in May. So people were talking about it on TV, in newspapers, and so everyone is hearing about these Free Parking Wednesdays, and it gets people excited to be downtown. So I consider it a very successful campaign. And then, Shelley, do you want to come up and talk about the Visitor Information Center? This was another big win in June because we saw a pretty significant increase, not only in the number of visitors, but also in a specific region that was coming to Delray Beach.
Shelley, before you start, Suzanne, the free Wednesdays, that's not include Atlantic, right? Is it the same as the other streets, right? Same as
No,
the
it's
pass,
only
the
parking
pass.
lots and garages
Okay.
west of the bridge.
Gotcha. Thank you. Just
You're
want to.
welcome.
So it's the same as the sheet. That they
No
put out for
on-street
the
parking, no private
employees, whatever
parking,
else, so
right.
forth.
Yeah, so we had a great increase over the prior last June, up quite a bit. We had lots of visitors from the south, a lot of these driving locations, people were coming from there. We also had a huge increase in people coming from Asia, which was interesting. So it's not as big a number because we just don't get that many visitors from Asia, but we had a huge increase for the visitor center. Again, the seaweed is continuing to be a problem, so we're trying to find other places for them to go, things to do downtown. So.
Do you think anything that had anything to do with the World Cup or
Yeah,
things
with
like
FIFA.
that? Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
There were absolutely people coming through that had been to World Cup games.
Yeah.
So,
Can you just quote what you received from that person that was blaming you all for, as a visitor, as a volunteer, Shelley was working the visitor center, and a very irate visitor came to the visitor center complaining about the seaweed.
unfortunately, we had
We ruined her
a couple in from New Jersey, and they basically came in and said, "You've ruined my vacation. I came down for the entire week. I can't go in the beach. I can't go to the beach. I can't be on the beach. It stinks. I can't go in the water." And I said, then we had to explain, of course, that the city tries to rake it up every once in a while, but the tides come and bring it back. It's coming all the way from Brazil. It's a very, very large problem. And of course, it's nature, so it's not something we can.
They blamed you?
But I will say they've
Shelley's
definitely
fault.
come in and complained about the
what-
seaweed.
She sent them to the Silver Ball Museum.
Do we know what the schedule
Yes.
is? Do we know what the schedule is for when they do groom the beach?
It's every morning.
Every day.
They're out there
Every day?
Yeah.
It's every morning. they're
every
there.
single day, and you
comes
just
back
can't
fast.
keep up with it.
No.
It is, if you're on the beach and you see what's happening, it's like these blankets of
They're in the
blooms that are
water.
just coming on shore.
It's great when you're offshore fishing. It's not
Yes.
so good when it's on the beach. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it was so bad. I was actually my granddaughter. We picked her up in Abacoa and then had breakfast at Dune Deck Saturday morning. And literally, we drove back down A1A the rest of the way. You could smell it all the way down A1A. And Friday night, I live on a canal in Northeast Boca. And literally, the canal from one end to the other, you could walk across it. That's how thick it was. It wouldn't hold me up, but somebody lighter could walk across it.
Yeah,
just
and
gross.
there are days that are better than others. I mean, if the wind is blowing in the opposite direction, it pushes it out. So it's it's not every single day, but yeah, it's a
It
disappointment
definitely
for
impacts
summer.
our visitors.
Been here 60 plus years, and it's the worst year that I've seen.
Yeah, it's definitely the worst. All right, thanks, Shelley. Maruska, you want to come up and let's talk about Old School Square? Oh, perfect.
Look at
Yeah.
that, how convenient.
Okay. So June, one of our big wins obviously was Persistence of Matter, which
Yeah,
Mariska-
that was a big exhibition that opened, and we talked about it a little bit already. But we did have 561 people there. We had great donations. We had store sales, and since then, we've sold 2 large pieces of art that totaled about $6,500, which is fantastic. We get a percentage of that, which is great. And then we have 3 events scheduled for this particular exhibition. We have 2 art talks that Mavis was talking about, one on the 18th and another one on August 1st. And then we have a children's workshop happening that Pam is leading on the 25th of this month, so that's pretty exciting. But a couple of things. You do have my report in front of you, but I wanted to mention that we've been working fairly closely with the Chamber lately. It's been great. They brought their Chamber Chairman's Lunch to the museum, which was very well attended, brought in people that we have not seen in the museum before, so it was a great opportunity. We also had the YPAD gathering, which is Emily and her team and all of the young people that are Chamber members, and that was wonderful too. We did and this was also Pam and Mavis, did a wonderful scavenger hunt for them, and then Pam created a really large work of art that people could go in and put their own face on the artwork. So the whole piece is called It Takes a Village, and Bob was there, but I don't think you actually did anything, Bob.
I did.
I told you to be ready to paint.
I did. You just didn't recognize it because I'm so bad.
Oh.
But yeah, I did.
Not easily,
It was a lot of
incognito.
fun. That was
Incognito.
really,
It was fun.
I love the interactive.
Yes,
part
it's important.
of-
People
yeah, it
want
is.
to come to a museum, but they also want to feel creative and do something themselves. So that was great. It was terrific. And for the fall, we're working on some wonderful art exhibitions. We have a fiber exhibition that's opening. We also have a 40-year printing retrospective, an artist who's also a printer, bringing in a large piece of equipment, one of his printing machines in to show everybody. So we have some fun things planned.
Thanks, Mariska. We also had another full moon yoga. We had about 500 to 600 people come out for this free event. We did add a night market, which we had 19 vendors. And so that ended up being a really successful night. And we've been seeing the moon, which is great. In the winter, it's harder to see the moon, but in the summer, the moon gets up there in time. Coldplay tribute. We had another sunset concert. This was well attended, 2,300, and you just see the difference in the audience depending on what the band is. This was a lot of families and younger people coming out, and we didn't have a line out the door at 5 p.m. when gates opened. They came, they kind of sauntered in around 7 o'clock. So, but yeah, we did have a very well attended concert. So this is a very successful summer program at Old School Square. People really love the free concerts. And that's it. Yep. We do have Art and Jazz, as Laura mentioned, next week on Wednesday, the 22nd. It's in Pineapple Grove, so please come out.
And a concert on Friday.
24th?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. And a concert on Friday.
The 24th.
Yes. Yeah, so the Art and Jazz on the Avenue is in Pineapple Grove. So it's from Atlantic Avenue to almost to 3rd Street. So it takes over those 3 blocks. We are really encouraging and inviting all of our retailers and restaurants and all the residents in that area to just come out and be on the street. It's a very long footprint, so it'll be really important just to make sure that all of our businesses are open so that we can discover all the great things that are happening in Pineapple Grove. We're getting the hotels involved as well. So we'll have 2 stages and some floating music, as well as muralists painting live murals as well. So should be fun, free and fun.
I have quite a few questions. Do you mind if I ask them?
Sure.
Bring it on.
Fantastic. It's going to be starting at the beginning of the presentation. So
You want me to go back?
I don't care. I mean, I have my
Okay.
questions written. It's totally up to you. But they're going to get a little granular, so I apologize. I wasn't sure if I should interrupt in the middle.
I just exited out of it, so I have to go back. Go ahead. I'll bring it up.
Awesome. So for the summer campaigns that you had 3 different ones that look like being launched, 2.8 million impressions. Do you know what the cost roughly is for the 2.8 million impressions, or the cost per million impressions, or something like that? Any of that
I
data?
don't right off the bat, Jason, but I can get you that.
Okay.
So that's just specific to paid digital advertising. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you know where they're focused, like where they're occurring? Like, are they occurring in Mexico or India, or are they like
No, we don't have the dollars for that. So
it's a big audience. That's why I'm wondering.
No. So summer is usually a drive market. So normally our target is 50 miles, typically, and especially this summer with the World Cup, we tried to really just capture that Miami audience. But we're doing Miami, Orlando, Naples. So yeah, it's usually within 50 miles.
Okay. So
It's drive market.
You have a radius that's set and pretty much maintains that.
Yeah, we lean into Discover the Palm Beaches for those markets overseas. They have the dollars to be able to target those audiences.
Okay. And the platform is focused mainly on Facebook, Instagram?
Facebook, Instagram, we do some Google search, we have Pinterest, We have banner ads that are running, like, static banner ads and video banner ads that are running pre-roll.
Geo-targeting.
Geo-targeting, geofencing.
I know a lot of people have success with it. I've never been able to get the banner ads to work.
Yeah, and I can give you a very detailed report if you'd like that, because it gets very granular.
The reason that I'm asking, I would like to see it. The reason that I'm asking is because if you could buy more impressions, which sometimes you sort of cap out at your audience, but how can we get that 500 into 1,000? How can we get that 660 into 10,000? You know, I mean, it seems like with a lot of impressions, you might be able to bring in a lot, especially with the interaction percentage. It's like there's a lot of engagement in it, or there's a lot of eyes on it, and how do you convert is the question always.
Right,
so.
and not all of those impressions or those ads are going towards those specific passes, you know, so they're more summer, or it's a World Cup video. It's not
destination.
It's more destination than it is specific to these passes. We are running a very specific digital campaign about this downtown wellness pass right now, so that is getting us some clicks.
That definitely is what I would like to see, then,
Yes.
the cost per impression for the specific campaign more than the general tourism, because everyone wants to come to the city of Delray.
Yeah.
That's an easy
Sure.
thing.
So you want to see ROI.
Yeah, exactly. So the other question was, did the wellness pass, that just started July 1st,
Yep.
I'm guessing?
Mhm.
Okay, great.
And
It just
July
launched.
and August.
Awesome. The next couple questions I have, sorry, I said I had a lot.
No, it's
but
okay.
Run with the Chief. It was a great event. Thank you. That was awesome. Love being a part of it. What is the goal of an event like that?
So for that event with the chief is really the community engagement. So he's been as you heard him speak at the event itself, it was a time for him he wanted to get into the downtown, bring people to the downtown. He loves his community, and this event was a way for him to bring his team out and meet the people in the downtown area. It's just similar to he's doing that in Barwick and other, the four corners of our city as well.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So it was really leadership through him, through the chief, and through Commissioner Casal to actually do something in the downtown versus in a park.
It's a relatively low-cost event, I would imagine, correct?
They did not have a budget for it.
The city, it's a city,
Yeah.
since it's a city-initiated event, it was city, and maybe Jeff Orris, who's here, our assistant city manager, might have cost around it. The big cost for that was around the closure of the street.
Sure.
That's a huge, all the street services that are part of that is really the main cost.
That was a city event. We just supported them through marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's something that we should do more of if it's possible. That's
Yeah.
the only reason that I bring it up, because
Yeah.
you can turn the 300 people into 1,000 people. It's like such low-hanging
easily.
fruit. It's a short run. Everybody participates. Like the summer is, I don't know if it was the first one. It seemed.
Well, this is the first time this has ever been done.
Yeah.
We do runs on, we have a 5K footprint on A1A. That's the 5K footprint. So to close down Atlantic Avenue was unfortunately my fault. It was a conversation with the chief, and something I've been thinking about for 16 years. But so that was put in place based on his vision and what he's been doing, and I think maybe it will have legs going forward. It seemed to be successful. We were not sure. Typically, he's been getting 40 people to these runs he's doing constantly. So to have 300 was a significant increase, and I think that, and the interest, it was there tremendously. So I think it could be something, and it was easily implemented. But there are, staff costs that will happen through.
Of course, yeah.
through the city.
The spirit of the event alone at the beginning with the presentation or the speech that Chief Hunter gave about connecting like the new recruits to the community, I found that to be extremely important, and I think that especially nowadays we could all benefit from getting to know our community and our law enforcement officers and the new recruits especially quite a bit better. So if there was a way to do that more often or quarterly or something on Atlantic, that would be an incredible thing, especially out of the summer when people would prefer to run. outside.
I mean, it wasn't too bad, honestly.
Yeah,
You know,
it was
early in the
early.
morning. Yeah.
You can
Thank
count
you.
me in when you have a roll with the police. Scooters, I'm happy to.
You could
join in.
ride on the fire department's.
Maybe I could, roller skate or something.
You could be the cheerleader. It's all right.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I'll save
For
them
the
for another
support.
time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just email me if you want anything very specific. I can get you
Thank you so much.
all of that.
I believe that brings us to Brian Rosen. Oh, no,
no,
sometimes
it's me.
downtown
Financials.
financials, which is Brian always. He's always
So
got the
this is
most
just
comments
our,
on it.
I'll wait for, we have just a high level. You have the backup with your financials for May in your packet for both we break it down with the DDA financials and then Old School Square financials. So just to provide highlights for you all. I don't have the clicker, Suzanne, so.
Oh, do you want it?
Somewhere close. All right. So just to share with you all where we are as of May 31st. This is our revenue slide, which will show DDA revenue at the top, Old School Square revenue. We amended our budget last month, or 2 months ago. So this is our amended numbers versus our actuals as of May 31st. And you can see with our revenues for the ad valorem, we're almost 99% of our taxes received. We will probably have another installment potentially in August that will come through at the end of this month and in August. But we're very close to obviously what we projected. And then our sponsorship income is realized now, and we are a little bit higher than what we projected. So that's good. And city funding, we did receive, as of May 31st, we received the second installment. So now we're whole there from the $700,000, and we're kind of running true to numbers based on our amendment. And we will have income carried forward from the previous year to help see us through the end of fiscal year 26. Expenses, so our total expenses as of May 31st, we're running at our 60%, so we're on track overall in all areas. Grants are down. We might need to look at that as we go into the placemaking grant as we go into the next fiscal year, what we want to do with that. Because we're projecting, we had a lot of interest, but it's still not very much considering. So, and then Old School Square expenses, we're running pretty strong as we go into, now we're into summer. We have very little activities taking place this summer as far as productions from the DDA, and very few rentals in the summer. So our income from rentals is not realized in the summer very much. We have a few gym rentals, but majority of the events that are happening in the gym are city events. We've got a lot of meetings, public meetings that will be taking place in the gym. And then the amphitheater, we have the Cocoa Market, the Green Market, and then our events, we have the summer concerts, which are June, July, and August.
Laura?
Yes, sir.
Can I interrupt? Mm-hmm. Should I assume that the reason we have so few events is because of the budget that the city cut dramatically?
Yes.
I don't suppose this is a good time to bring that up. I was going to bring it up at the end with comments. Should I?
Well, we can get
Okay.
through this, and then
Yeah, I
yes,
just wasn't
I think
sure.
we had to change and shift our plan. As you know, every rental, any type of the whole operation with the museum and the campus itself, it does have operational expenses. Program income is fantastic. We see at the concerts, we'll see concession income, and we'll see VIP ticket sales. We do have vendor fees, $150 for the vendors that are on site as well, but the income is very limited. So as we move forward into this next fiscal year, we're changing that mindset and that plan to be charging for
But the
programs.
DDA focuses on summer events because
Correct.
the business downtown is so slow, and because that's our whole goal, is to increase the economic vitality of the downtown. And with the city cutting the budget and not keeping up to its promises from the beginning, we're seeing a real lack of ability to perform because we don't have the funds. And again, I'm not sure this is the place to bring it up, but it does seem to me that it should always be brought up. I'm going to do this until someone tells me I shouldn't be talking about it. At our goal-setting meeting, I made a proposal that we tell the city, that we discuss with the city the fact that when we originally negotiated to take over the Old School Square campus, the DDA was asked in our agreement that we create and make this the cultural center of the downtown. And the city promised us $1.4 million as the first budget year, which they cut arbitrarily to $1 million without any conversation with us. Since then, they've reduced the budget instead of increased the budget. The times, inflation, et cetera, the DDA can't perform and give and deliver the quality or the amount of programming that's necessary, especially in the summer. With a new business opening, you could use a boost, and I know I can use a boost, and the rest of the city can. And the DDA can deliver, and they've shown it, but the city has arbitrarily cut the budget again. And I think there's a point where you say, maybe it's time to say the DDA has reached a limit, and either the city agrees to go and fund us in the manner in which they promised when we negotiated this so that we can deliver what we're supposed to, or we exercise the escape clause, the 6-month escape clause that allows the DDA to walk away from the Old School Square operations and return them back to the city. And then if the city is going to end up with a dark campus, it would not be our responsibility, and I certainly don't want to see it, but I certainly don't think it's fair to our team to continue to operate with limited budgets in a time of increased costs all around and expect us to deliver the quality we were giving in the beginning. So, there it is. I said it. I wish the board, would go.
Brian, go ahead, please.
All right. I do appreciate you bringing it up. Something on my mind too, and as we look at this budget and everything our team does, supporting Old School Square. And again, I'm always the numbers guy, so I'm looking at the budget. I'm looking at May. This is our May numbers, and we're 80% through all of our funds for the year, and that's in May. We're now in July. I don't know what our numbers look like now, but if we were in July, this would be low. So I'm nervous. This is a fear I've had for a long time with our staff. We've got the hardest working staff out there. They're awesome. They kill themselves. Over the years, everything we've done, for Old School Square, which is not our main priority, just to be clear, the DDA, it's become a priority, and it's the cultural hub of our downtown. But, it's just we're being kind of set up for failure in a way, to say, in so many words. And going back to our original, when we took the keys, I said, hey, you're giving us the keys to the car. We got the car. We need gas money. They're all like, yeah, we got you gas money. We'll get you the gas money.
Yeah.
Well, it's gone to 50% budget almost from our original gas money. And, they expect us to grow and be better every year, and you just can't, and the costs have gone up. And, I was going to talk about, and I'll bring it up later, but like even with the fencing, right? Like there's a cost to set up and take down the fence every time.
Absolutely.
And I know we got a letter regarding fencing, which I may talk to Jeff about during comments. So Jeff, don't go anywhere if you're listening. And but we just got to figure out ways to make this work. So in my meeting with Laura, I talked about basically, there's a 180-day clause. I'm saying let's go ahead and give them the 365 clause and say, look, you've approved our budget, which is minimal, for this next year. We don't want it to go dark. We've already started programming because we've needed to. They really should start programming for 2028 now and figure out who's going to be doing that and who's going to be paying for that. But, I'd like to do a 365 notice because it goes with our budget in October. I don't know if we all can have consensus on it or if we want to save it for next meeting and put it on the agenda. But I think it's something we need to look at. We've had conversations, we've had meetings with the city on a transition. I'm not seeing a lot of transitioning taking place at this point. I am seeing things getting tighter and tighter over here. I'm seeing that we've spent 80% of our budget in May. I'm seeing that we are going to have trouble programming through summer. And I see more and more groups coming and wanting to host events and do things here and wanting us to waive fees, and we don't have budget. So we got to figure it out. I'm here to figure it out with the city. I want to be proactive. We've got a great team. We've got, the ability to work with someone, whoever comes in to take this thing over. But it's got to be someone with some budget and someone with budget for 2 to 3 years, because going the year to year, not knowing what your budget is, finding out, a month before you're supposed to be programming the whole year is not a way to run a business. And even if you look at our numbers now, we're at 80%, but we got $100,000 that we've carried through, and that's gone away. We've been able to, over the last couple of years, squeeze with the cuts with a little bit more that we've had, and we're out. We're done. We've burned through it all. Like, we've made every bit of, we've squeezed the blood out of the stone. So go ahead.
If I could, because you're saying exactly what I am. There's just the only difference is that I would rather that the city come up with the money, because we've shown, Laura and her team have shown an amazing ability to deliver on the quality and the amount of effort that deserves to continue. I don't really want to see the city end the DDA involvement. What I want is that the city step up and finance as they intended in the beginning, and at a rate equal roughly to what they did years before, before inflation was higher, and when the other team had far more volunteer money coming in as well, and the city still spent the money to make the Old School Square a cultural hub. The DDA has shown they can do it. They just need the funding.
Right. I agree. That's why I think we give the 365. We let them know what's going on. We'll keep it on life support. They can always give us more money and we can program more. But I'm just saying, again, I don't know what our numbers are today, but literally we've spent.
We didn't spend a dime since
81% of our operations budget was spent in May, at the end of May. 83% of our marketing budget was spent in the end of May. 75% of our total amphitheater and park money was spent. 87% of our total money for placemaking was spent. 100% of holiday decor. It's just, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm with you. Like, if they want to give us more money, they want to provide it to our team to execute, we can. But I think we got to give them, we can put that out there, but we got to give them the notice, because, again, expecting, we're going through transitions. We're losing, one of our strongest team members who does all the marketing and carrying the weight. And, we don't have an Old School Square staff. And how do you build a staff when your budget goes less and less every year and you don't know if you're even going to get a budget? It's just, there's no building up on the way that it's been going. But
I just don't want it to be dark.
I don't want it to be dark, but that's why 365 days should be more than enough time. It's double what's required. And again, it just follows the budget, because I don't want to be put in a position where we are like this year, where, there's state statutes not allowing us to book things coming up once our budget monies are gone. So what happens? Does you just have the dark city until we know we're going to get budget money? Or it's not right to our staff. It's putting our organization in a bad place. And again, I want to focus on clean and safe. I want to focus on supporting our businesses. And I'd like to work with whomever the city wants to put that has budget to run Old School Square and this entire campus. And again, to be very clear, I think that the DDA should continue to hold on to these digital assets, the website, all the stuff that we've created, surrounding Old School Square, I think we should be the stewards of that. Whoever comes in, we can work with, because what happened last time when Old School Square left and took the website and all the assets, and we had to start from zero, and the city had to start from zero. We've put a lot of money into that. The city, our citizens, we all have. I think the DDA should seriously be put in a position to continue to maintain that, and then work with whomever else to be an administrator and have abilities to work within, everything that we've built. But it should stay with the city. And
There
with
is
the DDA.
there is one thing though. When you say somebody else, nobody else can come in because the budget of $1.5 million to $2 million a year is required, and it doesn't.
Someone's going to have to come
it
in with their
doesn't-
own money. It's not going to be the city.
Yeah, but even if
money.
they came in with their own money, they're not going to come in and lose their own money every year. This is not a money-making proposition. It is a business of supporting the environment and the cultural hub, but not a profit motive. The only profitable area possible is the Crest Theater and the amphitheater. The art museum's required to operate for free. The city, that's in our
I
agreement.
think it becomes profitable when the right organization runs it and is able to generate funds through donations and other means. These cultural organizations can be profitable, but the key is that, they've got the runway to be profitable and the security and the asset, which we have neither necessarily at this point. So,
If I may,
Yeah, go
you
ahead.
said this at the very beginning when you started speaking. You said 2 to 3 years, which is the real amount of runway. It's the evaluation period. It can't be a year budget because it still keeps you completely unable to actually operate successfully within that year. And then in the instance that the board, the DDA, enacts the 180-day clause at the end of that period of time, then you don't have the budget to facilitate that sort of like lame duck period where you have employees. So you really need a 2-year budget and a 540-day runway to actually see anything take effect that's going to be meaningful change, that's going to drive revenue. That's not going to happen. That's not going to become profitable within a year when you invest all of this money and then try to get a marketing campaign done and then try to bring in new people, like new customers to generate revenue. I mean, it's going to take a year and a half to see a good, meaningful change. So I do
that's
think
more or
it needs
less
to
what
be
we
a
have, though. If we
longer-
give the year right now, starting at the fiscal budget, that would be October to October. It's June now, so you'd have, a little less than a year and a half. But we've already had meetings with the city and kind of discussed this going back over 6 months ago, probably. So, I mean, this is like a conversation that's been going on for, close to going on a year.
Jim, what do you think?
I think that, right now, where are we at with the, it should be on, yes?
Okay, yes, you just pull it
Sorry, I
down.
didn't
That's
pull
okay.
it down. Where are we at, or where's the city at, let me rephrase that, with their analysis or whatever else, they hired someone to look at it and everything else? That's got to be.
The feasibility study for the campus and the Crest Theater, that Mr. Moore shared that with, he's going to be bringing that to the city for presentation in August. So that's for the campus and the Crest Theater, and the direction that was given to me at our one-on-one with Jeff Worris and Mr. Moore. It was that really it's the 26, 27 year is going to stay the same. Probably nothing will change as far as management, feasibility. The reality is it's going to be nothing happening fast.
Right, but they, I would think if you're getting close to, in the next 30 days or so to present at the city commission, they would have an idea. How many, were there 5 people that jumped up saying they wanted to run it? Was there 2 people? Was there nobody?
No, it's
I
not.
mean-
It's just the study is being
Right,
delivered.
but I mean, you're getting
and
a
no
study
one-
out
the
there,
study-
you're contacting people. I would think people
From
would
the
say, I would love to run it.
It's not
if
in
you
our,
could."
I don't believe it's, so that's who's telling what that process will be, right? And I don't know if Jeff has
If you could, please, Jeff, just let us know.
Help us.
anything to share. Am I on the right track? I'm not real sure.
Jeff Forrest, Assistant City Manager. What the consultant had shared is that he's been working and looking for organizations that might be involved in this, who could or who couldn't do it, but that right now the governance of it is not what he's focused. He's actually focused on what is it supposed to be, where is it going. So what will be presented to the commission will be more about that. It won't be yet onto who's managing, what the governance of it is. That'll be a second phase of this.
And I guess if you're out there doing this analysis or a company I'm sure has done it plenty of times, right? I would assume it's not their first rodeo with this. They should be hearing from the tea leaves or whatever else that there's potential, and they should be saying, well, you're going to need, to put $5 million into the campus to fix it up, and you're going to need, $1.5 million a year or $2 million a year to run it. Is that type of stuff at least going to be mentioned?
I don't know how far he's going on this first phase, but it was very much about, what should be going on there. He's been talking to stakeholders. I'm sure some of you spoke with him, and to folks out in the public saying, well, what should this be? What do you want to see there? I think we would all probably imagine that it's going to come up with it should be what it used to be. I don't think there's any great need to change it, but he's also looking at the different components. Who could operate that way? Do they make sense together? At some point he'll come up with that recommendation on governance, but right now it really is, what is it? What's it suited for? What are the types of things that will happen there? What can you expect will happen there? That's what we're expecting to see in August.
And then the other question I had, was there a decision or did they put forth some money for the Crest Theater? Did that come out yet or not?
Anything that would be there would be in the CIP, which has not been presented and approved as of yet.
Gotcha. Well, if you could just at least keep us informed of what's going on, because I agree it's not fair to the DDA team, it's not fair to the public, and in essence not fair to the city to do something half-hearted. And I think that's really what's happening right now with, you got to drive 100 miles and somebody shows up and says, well, I only got gas to get me 50, so either you're going to push the car the rest of the way or there's going to be an issue. I can't take you, right? So hopefully we can, really take it serious and get down, because I don't think it's fair to the DDA or to the board members here to say, even with the 365, as Brian's recommendation, I would have been, give the 6 months. That's where I was a while back and so forth, and not as a threat or anything else, just to be, okay, wake up, something's going to happen, because we could give 365 and a year from October, we could be in the same exact boat that we're sitting right now. And that's, I hate to see it continually get kicked down the road, the can. It's been way too long, the Crest Theater. I remember when Kerry Glickstein was doing presentations in their town hall meetings, whatever else, former mayor, and somebody said, oh, the second floor is going to fall to the first floor. We had hundreds of people on the top floor, the ground floor, multiple times over there and so forth. And, it's tragedy to leave that closed up for all this period of time, because the longer it's closed, the more issues you're going to have with reopening it. So any way that we could spark some push somewhere, anything we can do to help. We're here to help. We're not here to be a problem, just complain. It sounds like it some of the time. But we are here to help. We do want to do what's best for the city. We all have a vested interest in it and so forth, and want to see that things progress in the right direction. And any way that we can communicate better and so forth, and so we can end up with a better facility than what's there today and what's been done today.
I think at this point we're all just waiting on the feasibility analysis to see what information comes back from that, as well as where our budget situation is. Budget should be released shortly to the public, or budget, not the budget, but the city manager's recommended budget. And we'll see what kind of funding is available through the capital improvements program. We can only work within the means that we have. Things keep getting tighter all the time.
And make it
it's
tighter
not that we
come
don't want to
November.
say DDA here had $3 million. We'd love to do that, but we're constrained in what we have available. So
I question that last comment.
We're also doing the best we can. Nobody wants that property to go dark. Everybody wants it to continue to be the center of activity in the city. I myself personally, this is Jeff Horace, private person there. I'm dying to go see something at the Crest. I love that facility, and I can see so many things that could happen there. So I'm very anxious to sit
maybe
down
we
and
reach
enjoy
out
the
to the
show
Wick
or
Theater.
whatever.
Talk to the Wick family.
We have requests that are coming all the time for people that have something for the theater. It's just not available. So there's a lot of interest for that.
At one time when I first got involved, I was looking, can we take something to the state legislature and get an allocation for that? But then they stopped funding cultural facilities for a while there. There are a couple that snuck in this year, so maybe we can try next year if we need to. But our hands have been tied on a lot of these things.
Thank you for the update.
Wish I had something a little more exciting and happy to tell you.
Just show up with your checkbook, Jeff, that's all.
I don't want to bounce any checks. Thank you.
Great. So we're still on we just need approval for the May financials. That's what we were talking about.
Do I have a motion? Can I have a motion?
Anyone motion on the May financials?
No, I said what I wanted to say.
No, we just need the
We need
May
a motion
financials to be
approve the
accepted,
financials.
please,
Oh, how about a motion to
or
approve the
denied or
financials?
something.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous, thank you. All right, so that brings us down to the parking discussion.
Parking, I apologize. I was out on the 4th of July. I did reach out to Missy and JoJo. I know he's been dealing with like EV chargers somewhere and something going on, but I don't have a lot to report at this moment, so it's a short parking update on my side. Other than I hear the Wednesdays are going really well. Been hearing from the businesses it's going well, and I heard from staff as well. So that seems to have a strong effect.
I actually got a sticker.
Well,
Not
congratulations.
a sticker, I'm sorry.
Your resident
I went
pass.
to get, no, I'm not a resident.
Oh,
I'm a
shame.
business owner, As a
okay.
business owner, I went and I applied online and so forth. Ignorant me, for some reason, I thought I was supposed to get a sticker. And she's like, no, you don't get a sticker. They have a reader that drives by and it knows that you're in the system and so forth. So, I mean, it's going to hit my pocket, bottom line, save a few dollars.
Has anybody heard of the reader acting improperly? Because I saw it.
I saw one of the guys. He was really bad.
Well, no, I saw.
I'm talking about you're
I
talking
parked
about
on
the machine,
I
right?
parked at my restaurant and on the Ave, and someone parked behind me, and they gave the guy a ticket within about 5 minutes of parking. And the guy came out and he was upset, and I had seen the guy park, and the reader said, according to the reader, he'd been there for more than the 20-minute free time. And we told him that it wasn't true, and the reader's the reader. It's, well, not quite a deity, but it's like God. So it can screw up, just for the record.
And I don't know anything about it other than I see the little device that drives by and in the car and so forth. I think it's in the car if I recall correctly, and it reads the plates and so forth.
Yeah,
But I know I didn't get a ticket today. And I was there for 3 plus, just under 3 hours, I guess, whatever. So
There have been issues with some of the meters malfunctioning and things like that.
a quick question about that. So if you have your monthly pass, do the 3 hours still apply? That's one thing I didn't know.
I think it's 4 hours, but it does
No,
apply.
they don't. You can park as long as you want.
Okay, so that's actually, I thought in front of where I'm at, 85 Southeast 4th, it was 3 hours on the street there. But it's not. It's you can stay with that pass. You can stay.
Yeah, for the employee parking. Yes.
Great. So we can ask if they've gotten any complaints. I'm sure they do. If someone gets a ticket when they're not supposed to,
We'll try to
I'm
get
sure
some-
they're pushing.
We'll try to get some data for next month. We can-
Yeah, I only saw it
Data.
once, and that's why I asked. But, if it is happening here and there, maybe they could do some fine tuning. They're pretty receptive over at the parking facility.
You send a stern letter, they typically wipe it off.
Oh, you come over and knock on their door, and they're pretty.
Oh no, I'm
much-
not talking about that facility, but because they do it all through the internet, if I recall correctly. Because
Right.
when the ticket I got, so forth, but anyway, yeah, I think that is an important thing. And again, especially when we're starving to get people to the downtown and so forth, nothing worse than coming to your car and getting a ticket, especially if you spent $15 somewhere and you got a $30 ticket.
Yep.
It's a quick turnoff.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, new business.
All right, so this is a first for the next fiscal year, so just for the
A request for money that we don't have.
board's information, we have to Brian's point, we have many rentals already on the books, both for the gymnasium as well as the amphitheater for events coming up from October through right now, really through May. And the events that happen outside do have to go through the special event permitting process, and that happens first. So they come to us, they request the date, the date's available. So Muscle on the Beach Car Show is one that has been, it's a reoccurring event for the city, and I believe it's its 5th year, right, Danica? So you can come on up. So, but it's a rental for the outdoor amphitheater and east lawn of the campus, and it is Danica's here from the Sandaway House, who are the beneficiaries of the income that comes from this fundraiser, Muscle on the Beach Car Show. Is that right?
Yes.
That's good. So we put in your packet there is for our new members, there is a application that we've created, or the board designed and created, for applicants who want to receive a reduction past the 50%. So as a nonprofit, there is a 50% rate. But right now, the Muscle on the Beach Car Show in the past has received a 100% fee waiver. So this year they're asking for, I believe, the similar waiver, and based on kind of current situation with our finances, I would recommend that we not give a full fee waiver, and if we wanted to receive or give a waiver for the rental, but keep the administrative or operation fee that would cover our on-site team and administrative work, pre-planning and working with the producer, just our operational expenses, which is in your backup.
For the record,
And Danica's here for the record if she would like to have her share anything with you.
do you want to make a speech?
I think you guys know our speech, and I feel awful, all of this going on, and now we're asking for a fee waiver. It is our 5th year doing it. It's our biggest fundraiser, really our only fundraiser, and it goes to support, all our educational costs to children coming in there. We teach over 6,000 kids a year about environmental education. We have a lot of rescued animals, from sharks to stingrays to a skunk to an owl. They're all our stewards there. It's really important nowadays to talk about environmental education. They don't get that in school, so this fundraiser goes directly to that.
How much money have you received over the 5 years, do you know?
So it's gone up each year. Last year we received $81,000.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really an amazing event. It's fully run by volunteers. They take on the whole task. They love it. They're very car knowledgeable. I'm not. I'm there for the event to help out, but they run the whole thing
They could run.
on their side.
Yeah.
Could they do two and
Yeah.
one benefit the Old School Square?
What's that?
Could they do 2 events
Yeah,
and one
exactly.
benefit Old School Square and
Yeah, we
Sandaway?
could use $100,000.
They probably pay the fee.
Yeah. Question, and this is just like a general form question, more first for you, Laura. I noticed, so I know we do the 50% rate for the non-for-profits.
Mm-hmm.
Is Muscles on the Beach a non-for-profit, or are they doing it saying that they give the funds to Sandaway, so Sandaway's the non-for-profit?
Sandaway's a non-for-profit.
Okay, so
but I
Muscles
think
on the
it's-
Beach is a
They're
for-profit.
also a
Yeah, they're a
nonprofit.
501c.
Oh, they're, okay, yeah, that's what I was asking. Yeah, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. I do have one question on the application. It says, will you be charging a fee for this event? If I believe they charge a fee for the entrance of the cars.
The car entry, yes.
So, and probably that should be amended, and down below, just list that, because
Okay.
and I know that's not you, but
can do that,
we probably
Okay.
ought to have them adjust that.
The fee for the vendor fee or a car fee?
Yeah, they ought to just explain that there's an there's a
I think that's
registration
the
fee.
14,500 is the
Yeah, it's on 3, number 3. There's a registration fee, but there's not a fee
Okay,
for the
right.
participants or observers. I don't know what you call them.
It's free to attend as an attendee, but not as a
Correct.
exhibitor, right?
Yeah. There's a place down here to explain it.
Where does the funding go for the exhibitor fees? Is that to the DDA or is that to the city?
No, that goes directly to as part of the fundraiser for the nonprofit.
That's how they
So-
make their money.
So you're generating revenue that way. Okay, understood. And last year was 81,000 was what you generated for the event.
Right, and each year before, we've grown about 10,000.
Okay.
But you gave 50 something to the. You didn't give 81,000,
We received the 81,000. That's what we collected in.
and you paid and you donated 50.
I'm with Sandaway, so we
with
received the 81,000.
Oh, you did
yeah.
receive away. Oh, okay, okay.
If it was 10,000 a year more, that's why the 92, I'm assuming, is shown in here. Is that?
So the question is, do we allow them to do they to pay $4,500 for the venue and $1,500 for expenses, or do we waive any part of the $4,500, but not?
I mean, in
The
general,
cost.
we're so broke. I want to do what we do for the non-for-profits, which is the 50%, and then charge. We have staff costs. We have
So minimally, we must collect the staff costs. The $1,500.
staff costs for sure, and then I'd say the 50% is what we
So
build.
that would be
Muscle on the
$3,000
Beach is
fee.
paying their own staff, I'm assuming, to work the event. So
They're all
it's
volunteers, yeah.
They're all
100% of the entire
100%.
event expenses are volunteered.
Yeah, any vendor, I think they have a DJ, they're paid, but anyone there at
But
the event is.
The company does still incur operating expenses in general from producing such an event.
Yeah, we have,
You're not related to them, though. That's correct.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
But
so,
they're
like, they
all
have expenses.
volunteers, yeah.
Yeah, they're showing
This is
expenses
one of these expenses.
35. Yeah, they're showing expensive, but yeah.
Yeah, this is just one of those expenses, unfortunately.
again-
I mean, it's a meaningful contribution that they make 81,000.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It might be 78 this year, or it'll be
Yeah, it'll be
10 minus 10.
4,500.
Yeah, it's
I'm afraid
We
that
just,
you're
again,
right. You're
I
watching
don't know
us.
what my budget is now, but I'm just telling you, if we're at 80% in May for Old School Square, I know that that's not great. And we're not going to have that $100,000 buffer next year.
Yeah, I think that it's unfortunate because we really do enjoy giving everything away for free.
Especially, look, it's a great event.
That's
And
exactly
Sandway's
the point.
Amazing.
They bring 5 to 6,000 people on a Saturday in March during the day to the downtown. It is significant for the downtown. However, there are just, I mean, it's
We're the
while
s-
it's grass that's the rental, and we're not, that's one of the things when you look at it. It's human resources and the services that we provide with the marketing team, with the staff team. Those are the human resources that are in. We're not volunteers, right? So we have to pay for our employees. So the reality is if we can cover the operation costs, that'll help keep our, flat operations. The $3,000 what comes in to help us with additional programming. It would go in, obviously that's what the rental incomes are helping us provide back to the operation.
is there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just was going to go.
I was just going to say, is there a way that we can formalize this as something like it's a new session, new term, and this has nothing at all to do with Muscles on the Beach or the organization that you're representing, but simply the fact that we do need to change the way that things are going in terms of how revenue is generated internally for the DDA because fees have been waived consistently. I don't know if there's a way that we can memorialize that idea because it literally has nothing to do with the particular organization or it's just circumstantial and it's a new direction. that needs to be taken.
We've already actually done that.
Perfect.
But we've already done that, and that's where we are. And then this is a request for more. The thing is that, as we've discussed, it's getting tougher. If we waive the $3,000, then we still get our costs. But we're also a nonprofit, and
You could say it's $1,000. You can
No, I know.
adjust
I
it
guess
whatever, or
so-
$500. I mean, it's
so
up to
now
you.
it's about whether we break the rule that we keep trying to make every time we go through this. You're new, but you're right in there with what we keep doing every single time.
What we do is we tell staff at the most for a non-for-profit, they have the ability to waive it 50% of the cost if it's a local non-for-profit, not just any non-for-profit, right? It has to be a local one
And now
because we're
we're-
taxpayer dollars. So we're at that 50%. It's you're the first group to come. We don't have a lot of funds moving forward, and it's I don't know if we want to just stick, again, I'd like to stick with what we've said is the new rule, or, well, the old rule, but just.
We could negotiate if they make addition.
No, you can't, you can't do that with the not-for-profit stuff.
If the projected $90,000 comes out, it's a terrific
George is watching, I'm sure.
amount of money donated, and $3,000 less or $4,500 less does not.
It
shows,
supports Old School Square, like it supports
that's
this, you know, like it's not
we're
like it's
supposed
not.
to support Old School Square is the thing, and we want to do both. But by cutting it in half already, we're actually doing quite a good service. It just seems like it's easy to wave our hands, but it's not really the benefit of Old School Square. The best thing we could do is stick to the rule that we made, which is 50% for nonprofit. And, you know, unless there's an absolute special need, and I'm not sure
it's kind of
this
like where I'm
qualifies.
leaning pretty much moving forward, unless we get some more funds from.
Can I have a motion for the 50%? I feel that's the same place where we should be at. So
Well, I make a motion that we stay with the 50%.
All right, the 50% and the 1,500 for the staff costs that we're doing
That's
for basically all non-for-profits moving forward. That was like our initial rule.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's going to be tough, guys. I
Quentin,
don't know.
you were gonna
I
say
love Muscle
something there.
Beach. I
Please
think
speak
it's
up.
a great
I want to
event.
hear what you were thinking.
No, I was just gonna say if you weren't gonna waive it, you don't really need a motion. You just there's nothing.
Oh, for the 50% is like we don't need motions for that because Laura can do that
That's already the
herself.
policy.
Yeah, the fees are the fees at that point.
You don't have to deny the request?
Yes, you probably should.
Yeah, we'd have to have a motion to deny the request because a request was made.
Well, there has to be a motion to approve the request. You don't need a motion to deny a request, but that's
There you go.
Okay.
Legalese.
you made the
something new
motion,
every
so it
day,
doesn't
right?
it doesn't matter at this point. So
That's what law school gets you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on to
6B.
6B. All right, so at our June 17th workshop with the board, and due to some changes that are happening at the DDA organization, we felt it important to bring this together, put this organizational and compensation review together quickly to bring it to you all. To start that discussion, our hopes is to possibly have direction from you all today to move forward. As you know, Suzanne is leaving the DDA at the end of this month and has offered to support as needed on a contractual basis where we will probably need some help on training. However, we also still we have a position for our downtown events and business development is also still Danielle Rosenberg, who left back in beginning February, is also still open position. So with that, taking a look at the DDA side of the house and looking at our team, what the roles and what the organization's doing now, and really went to look at other organizations and put together this information which we provided you all, and want to have that conversation with you all today. Suzanne, do you want to?
Yeah, I think just, we did this because things are changing. The downtown is growing. I think there's a lot of misconception in the name of the organization, the Downtown Development Authority, but we don't develop or build buildings. We are a service organization. And so really we're all about supporting our businesses, producing these events, welcoming our visitors. And we do that with our people. And, we did a salary review. We looked at not only salaries from the International Downtown Association. They have an executive summary that they put out each year, and we grabbed that data. We grabbed all data from the West Palm DDA, the Fort Lauderdale DDA, the Miami DDA, because DDAs are a very unique organization, right? We're not a city organization. We're a BID, or a business improvement district, a specific area, and we are a government organization. So at our last, for the new board members, at our last budget workshop, the board had directed us to look at salaries and comparable across similar organizations. And so we've been doing that. And with the downtown growing and with our organization changing, we just wanted to give you all an overview of what currently it looks like at the DDA and what we're proposing. But right now, if you look at our current salary, it accounts for 22% of our budget. In most urban placemaking organizations, their salaries account for 32%. So we are very, very low. So currently, this is what our, a snapshot of our salaries looks like. We have 6 full-time positions. We have our executive director, a marketing director, an operations manager, a marketing and social media coordinator, downtown event business development manager, and visitor information center coordinator. Those positions total about $477,000, which is 22.9% of our operating budget. This does not include any of the Old School Square salaries or Old School Square positions. This is just DDA. And then here's what we propose. So when you look at some of the key positions, obviously director, manager, coordinator, you can see from this that the light blue is an existing role. I should say the kind of the teal, and then the lighter blue is of a restructure, what we're going to be restructuring. That bright blue is a new position, and then the sort of pink is a part-time position. So what we've been looking at is a true operations day-to-day person. Laura really needs someone that can run the organization day-to-day so she can focus on being the executive director. Right now, she is bogged down in the day-to-day. And so we need someone that can handle the day-to-day operations and oversee the day-to-day operations of the DDA. And that would be your strategic operations manager. And then what we kind of thought about that is, because right now what I'm doing is sort of both of those roles. I'm doing marketing, but I'm also running a lot of the day-to-day. And it's a lot. So I would suggest taking that director, manager director, marketing director down to a manager position. So you'd have someone overseeing the marketing, and they'd have that marketing and social media coordinator. That would be the person who would be deploying all of the assets. Right now we have a bookkeeper that is a contract position, but we really need to we need a finance person in-house that's full-time. Right now we have, someone doing it part-time, but we need someone full-time doing that. The district engagement coordinator would really be that business support and the communication with our businesses. That's a position that we don't have right now, that's kind of split between the events and the business development. But we would take that into one role and then part-time bring in someone for really event logistics. And then the visitor information center coordinator would stay the same. And then we added an office coordinator position, which would be someone that would handle, running the office and making sure that the board has everything it needs, and creating the board packets and getting that all organized and together for all of our meetings. And so, and then these salaries are ranges based off of all of the research that we've done against IDA, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, Miami, DDA. So that's what we're thinking.
Okay. So, so based on the direction, so for today I'm happy to answer any questions, have discussion about this. But just for historical perspective, so when I started here 16 years ago, and in the director role in 2016, it was really focusing on lean, like keep the team lean, keep salaries low. And then we were getting top heavy. So I still feel that, because with an executive director and then 2 team members or maybe 3 team members, it was not, it was getting out of balance. So for a few years I kept, very low, no increase, and focused on putting it back into the team. And then back, I think in 2019 or 2020, the board said we really need to make some changes and start adjusting and looking at these salaries and raising them and getting to levels. Still very low based on the industry and our partners. So even our regional partners, our local partners with the CRA, the city, and the chamber, were very low as far as where our managers and coordinator levels have been. So it is, as I said at our workshop, our team is working really hard and really care and really do a great job and need to be rewarded for that. And going through this whole interview process, looking for a position for people, they're not coming here for the salaries that we were offering. So we really need to be competitive if we're expecting, strong talent. And I think that's where since we are service and we don't want to avoid the turnover, we need to be competitive. It's a fun place to work, but they do want to be paid. So, and we do, and it is a great team. We want to make sure that we're finding, and also the organization, as it's changed, we want to make sure that we're getting the right people in the right positions. And with that, I'm happy to answer questions or
Jim?
have discussion.
Yeah, go ahead, Al, please.
Okay. I have a benefit, or I guess the benefit, of having been here before everyone else. I started when Laura was the staff with, what was her name?
Marjorie?
No, you worked the other one.
Gilly.
Yeah, right. She was part-time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was 1.5 staff and an executive director. The organization has grown organically since then. We spend a lot of time talking about how wonderful the staff has delivered on all its needs and all its obligations at the Old School Square. I can go on about what we do in town for the business, the marketing. This is a great team. All of us are different kinds of businessmen in real estate and restaurants and whatever. I'm a doctor and I don't have much to say about that. But I do have a lot to say about what Laura has built. And I would feel loath to have us stick our dirty little fingers in there and try and manipulate and tell Laura who and what to hire. I understand that as a financial need, we need to monitor the cost, but Laura has kept the cost way below the 34% average. What are we now?
It's right. Currently, it's 22%.
22% cost of salaries. And we deliver over and above expectations. I know we talked at the goal-setting meeting about increasing salaries. We all know that we need to do that. And I think that Laura is the best person to make the decisions. Oversight, that's our job, but not meddling, and I hope we don't do that. And that's just what I'm asking the board. Let's not meddle. Let's give Laura the leeway, the funding she needs to create the team, especially with the loss of Suzanne, which is just a terrible loss. And I really do wish you well. And I tried to write a letter after reading Laura's letter. I couldn't write anything more, and I felt kind of foolish. But let me say out loud and in public, I was here before you were here. I've been here since you've been here. You are an incredible asset. You gave Laura the ability to grow and spread her wings and spread the organization's wings. And you will be incredibly missed. The fact that you turn our microphones on, that alone. But
I know.
the
I
other
can turn them
stuff
off,
too.
too.
The other stuff you do too. It's not bad. Really. But
Thank you.
Laura's got a lot now to recoup. And my guess is Suzanne will help do that, because I don't think that she can walk away being in town and not help when she's needed. I just know that's what she's like. And I really wish I could say more, and I really wish I could have written it, but Laura wrote an incredible epitaph to your job. And but getting back to this, I'm sorry. I don't think we should meddle, and I think we should allow Laura to do what she does really best and just give her the support she needs. So thanks.
Quentin?
Thank you. I just wanted to just make sure we're understanding that this, if you all agree, there need to be a motion to approve the restructuring with the salary ranges, and it would take effect for the following fiscal year. It wouldn't be for the 25-26, which is what we're in right now. So it'll start.
So it's not till October then, right?
It goes into our budgeting process.
Budget, right. So that the planning.
I guess where I was going with this, and if I'm causing an issue, tell me so, please, both Laura or Quentin, or even the board for that matter. It'd be great to have a full board here, to have the whole team here. If it's not a problem, if it needs to be done today, let's get it done today. But if it's not, I want to show the commission, the city, the DDA, everybody out there that it's 100% of the board that's behind this.
I don't see an issue with that. I think what the staff would want from you all who are present is a consensus that you want to move in that direction, so that they can start the planning. If there's not a desire with the people who are here, then there's really...
Well, I'm voting yes, so I don't know how anybody else is voting.
So I want to make sure that they have some direction before we get into next month, because the budget's coming.
Yeah.
Go.
I'd like to wait. I got all this on Friday, and it's a lot, and then more just here. So I'd like to digest it more before I vote, and I also would like to have all the, all of our board here, because this is a lot. You guys put a lot of information together, which is great. I just need some time to review it.
Yeah, the only other thing that I thought about too is that it is going from the 22 to 34%, right? So it may
end up there.
Right.
It will not be.
We
The
don't
goal
know
is not
for sure.
34.
And then if I could finish,
Please,
may
I'm
finish
sorry.
my comment. And then the other thing that I just want to say, and I'll put it because we're talking about it to the rest of the board here since we're in the light, and I've brought this up before, but and Shelley's doing an awesome job with the visitor center. The visitor center's great piece of real estate. It's on the corner of Atlantic Avenue and A1A, right on the beach. This visitor center tends to be a financial drag to this organization, and it's about to go up another 20 grand, 1/3 more, of cost to it. And I just think that this piece of real estate is there's got to be a way that our restaurants and everyone can be a part of this and not have it cost us $60,000 a year to staff
That's not the visitor information center. That's the visitor information center coordinator, who does a lot more than just at Atlantic and A1A.
I'm just talking about that specific. I've talked about it before. I think that we maybe can try to be creative and say, hey, the DDA's got this box on the corner of A1A and Atlantic Avenue. That's a pretty amazing box to have. It should be really, really amazing. And the visitor center's nice, and it gets 700 people there in June, but the cost of that 700 people is probably a lot of taxpayer money, where I think that asset we got to be creative and think about what that could maybe be for the DDA, for our downtown businesses, for the city. I'm just not sure, because if we figured out a different way to approach that would almost take our budget down 10%. And I'm not saying this is the full move, but it's something I'm looking at to keep our budget still where we're paying everyone more, and we have this awesome location that we control in downtown that doesn't have to be such a financial weight around the
You
organization.
have to staff it. She's the staff.
It depends what you're doing in the space.
It was volunteer manned without us. We when we renovated, when we invested in making that a better location and invested dollars from this organization back in 2017 in partnership with the city to remodel the place. It was also to expand the hours and expand the training and oversight of that facility. And that was because it is funded by tax dollars, and it is something that is benefiting our downtown community, specifically as a business, especially more so, I think even more so in the past 2 years since Shelley's been on board, is really getting more action there and more insight and more people there than in the past. It's definitely enhanced. And it's not meant to be a competitor to our taxpayers, our stakeholders in the downtown. It's not meant to, so we don't sell anything out of there. We don't generate revenue there and out of there because we used to sell water, so we stopped doing that because it was, again, the beach shops right next door. They could go there to get waters. Why should we be generating
Yeah, I
money?
think we have to be creative with the approach. I just think it's an amazing location.
For the record, no offense, and I really like you these days, but I think that's precisely the meddling I'm talking about. Laura runs the DDA. We supervise and oversee, and Laura has made decisions that have benefited the businesses in a way that I don't think any of us really understand unless you've been on the Ave for a long time. And I know you've been in town for a long time. But as a business operating on the Ave, and I see the results of what the DDA delivers, we have to have a visitor center. And it has to be operated by someone who's smart and who's qualified. And the volunteers that work under her are a great team, but we need a director, just like we need Laura to run the DDA. The board doesn't run the DDA. Laura runs it, and we supervise and oversee. And if we don't let her run her organization, then I think we've made if you really feel that she's making the wrong decisions, then we should replace Laura too.
That's not what I said. I was just talking to the board about an asset that the DDA has
I
that's
think
sitting on the
asset-
corner of A1A that's costing us a bunch of money. I didn't say any of what you're saying.
Hold on, everybody,
asset is
please.
the city. The city owns the asset.
Stop, I'm speaking right
The
now.
city
Thank
owns
you.
the
Conversation's going way the wrong way.
That's what I'm trying to confirm, and that is correct. The city owns this piece of property, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
we pay $1.
So it's kind of an asset, but it's really owned. It's kind of like the
owned by
old
the
school
city, we
square
manage it.
and the gas for the car, right?
It's equivalent to if someone in the city could say, look, let's just take it away from the DDA and we can use it as an asset. But they've given it to us and they don't make money from it. They gave it to us to run.
There must be a way to leverage it for our restaurants and businesses to really
I think we
do
do.
more and then possibly not have it cost us so much. That's all I'm saying.
I'm
And
all
just,
for if we
you
can
know.
get money and so forth from businesses. Anybody can make more donations, whatever else, so forth. I'm all for it to help offset our expenses.
I will just encourage you to look at the job descriptions because there's more in that.
Yeah.
I think that's where
You really need to
focus on
understand
job
the roles and
descriptions,
responsibilities of
roles
that
and
That's
job.
why I got it all on Friday afternoon, so it's a lot to
Well,
digest.
Well, that
Excuse
job,
me.
that's not a new position. That position has existed.
So why have we made a decision not to sell merchandise? I know we can't do it at the DDA, at the information center, but every media site out there has a merch. And if we sold, Delray Beach merchandise off of our website, that would go towards helping sponsor the VIC. Seems like we could cover a lot of those costs.
Yeah, there's a lot of stores on the Ave that sell Delray Beach merchandise. So I think that's Laura's point.
We don't want to compete
Yeah,
with
that
them.
we don't
Okay.
want to
That
compete
makes
with
sense.
them.
That was the question I was asking.
Yeah.
It makes
And
perfect sense.
there's cost to selling things too.
Yeah,
So
I get
think
it.
that's the other part.
Jason.
We've
I'm
tried to-
new to this. I don't
okay.
understand where you step on toes.
That's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please, Jason.
Yes, thank you. I just want to refocus the conversation on what we have in front of us right now. In order to move forward for myself as well, what I would like to see is the information in a different format. I've already seen it in 2 different formats, so now I'm sufficiently confused, but what I would like to see is the new positions being added like I want to see like a tree, what you're breaking into two jobs basically, and how that salary is getting split, plus the additional funds that are needed, and a very brief understanding of the job descriptions, because these are this is a very thorough packet on each job. I feel like that's being added, which is like, what are the core duties, responsibilities, and expectations is kind of what I'm looking for each person, just to see like how they're being reshuffled and how it's being reorganized basically.
Okay.
All right, and then the additional funds needed, because I know obviously with this, we're not just reducing the salary and changing your position, it's adding funds as well and bringing it to that approximate 30% marker, which, I think that everyone here is in agreement. Sorry, I'm speaking for everyone, but the salaries probably do need an increase. I mean, it looks like that based on where we're at in the world right now and based on what I just saw. So I think that what you were bringing up, Quentin, is like, does everyone feel positively moving forward? Correct. I'm speaking for everyone's behalf in this room right now, which I should not be doing on my very first day here.
It's okay.
Is it a
No, you don't.
Affection?
You have to make a motion.
No, you don't need a motion. Just consensus.
This is just consent?
Just to make sure that the staff isn't going to be wasting time going through this exercise, and nobody wants to
not hold the budget up.
Right.
Basically, is because you need to have it probably for next month.
Yes. We do.
Right. I've heard that there's no severe hesitation on it, just some questions, which is normal, which is fine. So
we'll try to get
I think there's consensus, but
ahead of time, and even setting up time.
Let me just go down the line.
I agree.
Brian?
I want to review more information.
Trending positively, agreed as well, more or less, same.
Thank you.
I trust Laura to move forward and make the right decisions, and that's what I say.
Great, thank you. And this was, for the record, Cole Devitt was the one, board member Cole Devitt.
Oh, he
was
brought
the
it up,
one-
absolutely.
the one that
No, that's why I
brought
wanted.
this up, so I think,
I just think it sends
he's
a
on
message
vacation.
when it's
Yeah.
the entire board. We've got a whole 7-member board here, and they're all
Okay.
stating that it's overdue.
Sure, and quite frankly,
And
this
optics
is.
aren't necessarily great on timing of everything, right? We're
Right.
getting slammed on one side, then we turn around and say, well, we've basically gave these people bread and water for the last 4 years, and maybe they should be able to get a hot
Couple
dog
black
once in a
eyes
while.
along the way.
Didn't we all say this at the goal setting?
You did.
We did, yes, we did.
Yeah, so you all asked for a salary review,
Right.
which when we sat down to look at that, we're like, well, not only salaries need to change, we need to look at what these positions are and do they make sense? And so that's why we went down this path.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you quit.
And then you quit.
Well, I had quit
Sorry, that's
before
why I was laughing.
then,
I'm
but
just
no
like,
one
they
knew.
requested a salary review, and then Suzanne.
Okay.
Well, thank you. That's good.
Okay.
Good discussion. Appreciate it. All right.
That brings us to you, Quentin.
hey, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I just want to say I hope everybody's having a great summer. I just want to remind you, because we have 2 new board members, that you all should be mindful of the Sunshine Law and not speak to each other outside of the meetings about business that is on our DDA agenda or business that may come before us on the DDA. You can go watch the semifinals and finals of the World Cup together if you want to do that. Have a beverage of your choice together and talk about whatever else, but just not the DDA activities or activities that may come before the board. So I just want to make sure that you continue to keep that in mind, and that also includes the mayor. I know he's the mayor of the city, but he's also an ex officio member of the board, and that rule applies to him as well.
And
he's
some
aware
of
of
this,
that.
It's so easy to get tripped up with this, right? So I've been told for 20 plus years, whatever it's been around, you can't reply all when you're saying that you're coming to a meeting. And so I think it's important that people realize it's everything. So, nonchalantly you click reply all, and then all of a sudden it goes out to a number of people. And in essence, that's a violation of the Sunshine Law. I don't think anybody's going away for that because they did reply all and showed up at the meeting. but I think it's important that we are very, very, very careful about this.
Correct. I think that's the practice I know Laura takes is, at least as much as possible, is blind copying you all, so you can't reply all.
Exactly, I've seen that, yep.
Yeah, so it's just make sure that, try to make your lives a little easier in that regard, but, you know, be careful with that.
And use the DDA email.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is difficult for this board for some reason. And look at them on a regular basis, and I'm talking about the chair. I'm getting better at it, though.
Thank you.
I'm trying.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Executive Director.
Yes, I do have, just wanted to let you all know, remind you, we do have a town hall, our annual town hall meeting. It's on August 12th in the Vintage Gym at 5:30. We'll send out a calendar invite so that's on your calendar. And we'll share more along the way of what that agenda looks like. But this is our stakeholder town hall where we invite we send invites out to our property owners, all property owners in our DDA district, as well as our business owners. So some of obviously the property owners are not all the business owners. So, and then obviously all of our residents in the downtown. So that'll be on the 12th of August.
At what time again?
5:30
Okay.
to 8.
And do you think you have enough room there?
We would love to have standing room only.
That's what
I would love
that's
that.
what I'm hoping for.
We had a really good crowd last. We had about 120 people last year, which was great. No guest speakers. We're just really going to do a state of the downtown DDA plan for the future where we are. So, and then I also did send everyone a email regarding the International Downtown Association. Thank you, Mr. Cantwell, for getting back to me. Jewel Glardy and Bob Cantwell have put their names and raised their hand to go to Toronto in September, and we have one more spot available. If anyone has, Jason, are you available?
What's the date?
The 1st through the 3rd.
If you haven't gone, I'd say go. They're great events.
It's my 10th anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there
I've missed my wedding anniversary for this conference. It's not
Is
fun.
there any stuff that'll be done on Zoom?
There are online. They do webinars occasionally, and I'll send. I sent out the link. It's downtown.org. You can go on to that website, and they have a list of their upcoming webinars. They're great. So if you have interest,
yeah.
I have
there
some
is a
hearings
spring-
that I'm waiting on them just to get confirmation. Everything keeps shifting at the county, and so
Okay.
hopefully I'll know this afternoon. I called
Okay.
for one of the consultants to confirm, so because I would
Alright.
love to attend, but
Yeah, it would be good for you.
Yeah.
It's a great, as Brian knows. It's
probably
a
good
great,
for my marriage too.
Excellent. All right, and that's all for me. But thank you, thanks team for everything you're doing. And I will be remiss not to say publicly thank you, Suzanne Boyd, for
We're gonna have to call a special
being
meeting.
you, yeah, and for all your amazing contributions to our team and to
Don't forget the microphones.
and microphones.
Yeah. She turns them on.
Al?
Okay, I'm not sure it's tomorrow, but when we were talking, you
right,
mentioned
yes.
that the city wanted us to adopt their methods of payroll or payments with credit cards.
So, are you referring to the city commission's meeting tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So yes, the internal audit final report is on the commission's agenda. And that
Okay.
has nothing to do with what you're talking about. It does, there's recommendations that have come through, but it's
Right.
not going to be part of that discussion. I
Okay.
don't believe.
I just thought that there were 2 or 3 items that were brought up at the audit when it was originally announced, and we addressed every one of the things, and we, as a board, voted. Quentin, you remember? Yeah, so if anybody thinks that we should adopt some other things, well, we've already adopted changes to the that we were
in
happy
full
with.
implementation mode right now, yes.
I'm sorry?
We're in full implementation mode.
Correct. Yeah, well-
Training, everything. addressing all operational changes and more that are coming from our state audit. They're going to be, there are more recommendations, which are
And we'll
are
deal with
fine.
them as a
Yeah.
board.
Yep.
And the board will make the recommendations. Okay, I'm fine. I just was happy with the recommendations we made, and I thought someone wanted to change our methods
There's
based
definitely
on their.
opinions out there. So.
Yeah, okay. I'm done.
Jason?
I have nothing further at this time.
Welcome and thank you to the new board members. Brian?
I'm good.
Bob?
I'm great. Thanks for having me here.
So I just wanted to wrap up and mention again, this is some of the things that have been out there if anybody's interested about the teen takeovers. I
Yes.
mean, apparently they put a lot of the media out there, the Singer Island. This was the article in the Coastal Star about the 26th of June, or June 6th, I'm sorry.
Are those handouts?
Yeah, and then also, I printed copies for everybody. And then also, it's a write-up across the whole state. And it's interesting, hopefully we can get Gary to come in, or Major Ferrari to come in at the next meeting, because apparently these kids are pretty slick on the social media and everything else, which I'm terrible at, 2 left thumbs, I think. But it's, and it's scary, because I talked to a couple of the business owners, and people were running in and grabbing stuff off their shelves and things like that and so forth. And it's our eyes, it's our restaurant eye. Anybody,
Right.
you're driving down the street and you see a group of 15, 20 kids, and it's sad that we're getting to this. But if they're doing certain things they shouldn't be doing and it's dangerous, I mean, one of these kids are going to get killed on Atlantic or A1A here, or they have been already with the electric bikes and so forth. And it's not a problem until you lose your own kid, and then it's a real problem. So.
Yeah, and Gary said he just wants people to make them aware. They can handle it from their
Right,
end.
we
They just wanna,
don't do anything. Just
They
tape.
just want to.
Have we done any kind of additional training to the ambassadors to kind of, have them aware of the?
A little bit. They've been very,
For the whole board and extras.
especially on the
You guys.
bicycle training, what they're supposed to be doing there. So most of these situations are happening after they're after 9 o'clock.
So they're
Mhm.
having, okay.
Yeah, but we'll make sure that they're aware and they're getting more interactions with the PD on this.
Okay.
So, but thank you.
When it's happening, you don't think to call the police. In front of my store, the kids, right in the middle of a busy Saturday, they were doing wheelies in traffic back. We were more stunned by it, but I didn't call the police.
The talent of these kids is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
I'm at Meisner Park driving into the queue for valet, and they're on a full wheelie and going in and out of cars, around the cars in circles, without ever dropping the wheelie. I could do it maybe 50 feet as a kid. I mean, it's
Yeah, but it's
mind-boggling.
dangerous as hell.
Oh, every week almost I see something in the paper about someone getting killed.
Oh.
I mean, and it's
Yeah, but the other thing, the wild takeover is insane.
Well, apparently during 4th of July, there were fireworks being thrown in the middle of the crowd. And, I'm sure
Emily was in the middle of it.
wasn't trying to get hurt or anything else, but it's scary, right?
Well, like the sergeant said, there weren't 400 like in North Carolina or wherever that was, but that will be next if we don't nip it in the bud. So I agree with you.
And you never know. I mean, you could feel that it was a gunshot, I mean,
Well,
it's
yeah.
these kids. And people stampede each other. Enough said. Thank you very much.
Thank
Meeting
you.
adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
John.